Okay, so I don't know what happened. I was over there by the pool, and for whatever reason, it didn't record or it recorded, and it was kind of messed up. So, gotta do it again. The topic is address your mess. And I came up with the topic because there used to be a coworker of mine, ex-coworker, and she like was a hoarder, y'all. When I tell you she had everything that you could possibly need, she had like one day I was looking for some golf balls. It was some kind of activity I was trying to do with my kids. She's like, "Yeah, I got some of those." And I was like, "Do you have clubs?" "No, I just have the golf balls." "Okay." We were out one day, and she just started talking about all the stuff that she had and how she wanted to finally clean up her house. But every time that she tried to clean up, she just wouldn't get anywhere because she had so much stuff. And she eventually had to call a company by the name of Address Your Mess. And that company came in and threw away all of her items that she pretty much didn't need. And she was just holding on to them because I couldn't even tell you why. She just held on to these items. They had no meaning, no value, but she wanted to know that it was there when she needed it. So, guess what? Address your mess. Let's go. So, I know that there's been a time we've all been fake. You can say, nah, not me. I'm the realest OG out here. Okay, you're lying. But there's been a time that you've been fake, whether it was on the job, whether it was at school, whether it was at work, to your boyfriends, to your girlfriend, whomever. Telemarketers, come on now, somebody. Like there was a time that you've been fake, and the only reason that you didn't want someone to know the real you was because you had imperfections. Let's tell it for what it is. And that's the thing that drives people to be so fake, our imperfections. But who really came up with this term of perfect? Like, what is the perfect girlfriend, the perfect wife, the perfect woman, the perfect man? What does that even look like? Like we're living up to this standard that is not even realistic. So we pretend to be something that we're not all the time. And we do that. Why? I don't know, because everyone has skeletons in their closet. I mean, everyone. And if they're not in your closet, best believe they're under a rug. They may be riding in the car with you, whatever. But we all have skeletons in our closet. So we need to go ahead and address the mess. So, starting off, when you think about addressing something, or when you think about an address, you think about the place that you live. You think about mailing something off to someone, right? So when you're talking about girl, if you don't sit down, when you're thinking about an address, you think about your mailing address, right? So think about who can you send this message to. And when I say mess, yes, it always starts off as a mess, but eventually, if you have the right response, it will turn into a message. So now that you've overcome, or now that you have gotten through it, what's next? You need to tell someone. You need to tell everyone. Whoever needs it, tell it. And I'm thinking about a letter or a package. When you have to send that letter out, you got to pay for postage, right? First, you got to have some type of content, whether it be clothes that you're shipping out, a book, food, just a letter if you send it to your man in jail, whatever it may be. You have to have some content inside of that letter, that box, that package. So, what is your message? We don't want to just stop at mess, but turn it into a message. So, the first thing you have to think about is where is it going to? And I know a lot of you guys, when you think about addressing your mess, you want to point the finger at him, her, them, that. But really, you got to start with the mess that's in the mirror. Ooh, yes, I did. You have to start with the mess in the mirror, because that is the reason that really the mess, it kind of spills over when we don't address what's in the mirror, and we take that into every other aspect of our lives. So let's first address the mess that's in the mirror. After you've addressed the mess that is staring back at you, well, how do you even address it first and foremost? You need to ask yourself some simple questions, because everyone has mess. Let me just put that straight. You can be perfect now. Well, you had mess. And if you didn't deal with that mess correctly, baby girl, you still got that mess. It's just hidden, or, you know, in the closet, whatever you want to call it. So you need to address the mess first and foremost. And it's just by making an outline. How can I, get rid of this thing? I was talking to I was talking to somebody today, and they were telling me how they were in a relationship. It's not even really a relationship. Listen to the story. So there's this guy that they really like, and the guy claims to like them back. All right, cool. Well, it got to the point where it became physical, and it's now just at the point where I want to be with you, but I don't want to commit to you. And although she doesn't want that, she wants a full blown commitment, she's still allowing it to go on, knowing that this man does not want a full blown commitment. So it's been what, about 2 years now, and she's still in that relationship. She refuses to make any changes, but she's wanting a different result. So, with that being said, what are the changes that you want to see, and what are what are the steps that you're implementing? What are the steps that you're putting into place to actually get that change? If you're not changing anything, please do not expect anyone else to change. That's just common sense. So you need to make just make an outline, a quick outline, and it's okay if it doesn't work. Try something else. I think that's the main thing that we plan to fail. This is to say, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. And that's so true. We just say, oh, just give it some time, let it happen, and nothing ever happens. So, the first thing we need to do is think about that mess. Open up that box, open up that closet, begin to clean it out. What is the mess? Address the mess. Once you've actually figured out, well, this is what the problem is, and this is how I can, start changing it, then you have to actually implement it. Like, it's not enough to just write it down and say, well, this is what I want to be in life, these are my goals, and then you never do anything towards it. So, once you figured out what that thing is, for me, it was really just fixing issues in my childhood. I felt as though if I kept quiet about them, or if I just never addressed it, that it would go away, but it didn't. It really followed me into my adulthood, and it made me make some wrong decisions in life. And I'm not putting the blame on anybody else. Like I said, you got to take ownership for it. It was my fault, and now I have to change my mess. So when I first started thinking about it, I was like, oh my goodness, me actually addressing my mess or fixing my mess, making sure the problem is better, it actually made it a little messier at first. And I know you guys think about it when you're like doing spring cleaning or cleaning out your closet, throwing away some shoes, whatever it is, cleaning the pantry, whatever the situation may be, you have a huge mess. And once you begin to clean up, oh my goodness, does it not get worse? I know it does for me. It gets worse, like more work for me to do. And that's okay, as long as you're working towards cleaning it up. And I think acknowledgement is the first step to cleaning up your mess. So once you have, acknowledged that you have a problem, then you have made some outlines of how you can actually, well, an outline of how you can actually fix that problem. Then the next step is to implement the problem. Once you've implemented the problem, remember, you're going to have to revise. You got to go back and say, yeah, this worked, or no, this didn't work, and that's fine. But keep on working at it until it is completely cleaned up to your likings. And know that you are the only one that can actually. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. She wants her shine, y'all. Say hey, poo poo. Say hey, poo poo. Say hi. Yeah. Okay. Is that good now? You got your 15? More like 10? No. Okay. Her sleepy. So let's hurry up. So after you thought about all of those different things, because we think about a package, the outside of the box is like perfect. Okay. It's great. You can't even tell what's inside of it, whether it's broken, whether it's still whole, whether it's a diamond ring, or whether it's just, a letter, simple letter, right? You just got to think about that package, and we try to hide that package, not understanding that whatever we went through, whatever we're going through, that we have the power to change the outcome. Yes, there is a mess, but you can either turn it into a message or you can make it messier. We have the power to change the outcome. So your reaction is going to be a permanent fix. So however you choose to react to your mess, that's going to be the permanent story. So think about that as you go along. Think about what it is that you're facing, what it is that you're about to face, what it is that you have to face. And I want you to make the right decision, make the right choice. It might not seem easy at first, but as long as you have acknowledged it, you're one step closer to cleaning up your mess. Now it's time to go clean up the baby mess, you guys. So I'll see you back next Wednesday at 7 p.m. So sorry for the previous video. I don't know what happened. I'm getting ready to post this one though. So I'll see you back Wednesday. Love and peace. Mwah. See you later.